Hello, darling.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you? I'm so sorry that there were some technical difficulties, but that's how it rolls.
Absolutely no problem. And Rachel said, when I am videoing her wings and orbs. So you're capturing, so that's a great question. You're capturing your daughter's um, either her essence or the essence that's kind of bleeding over into our realm from another dimension. I don't know why I held this up. I'm just so used to teaching that I'm so used to having no back. So everybody welcome Lise or Lady Shadowe to the discussion. We have a couple more questions and then we're going to have our discussion about dark energy, light energy, et cetera, et cetera. And Kit said, oh, quantum teletransportation of information has been found possible. Absolutely. And I think that's correlated to mediumship. Kit, go to my link in my bio or whatever, go to my main page and go to the playlist, Science Proves Mediumship is Real. I have a bunch of videos about that. I mean, you can watch the live now. You can do that later. All right, so everybody welcome Lady Shadowe or Lise. She's a very long time friend of 40 years or more. It's 40 some years now.
Something like that, but you just dated us.
Well, we have these beautiful TikTok filters, so we're beautiful.
I honestly don't have any filters right now, so it's just the spirit, I guess, surrounding us with all kinds of goodness.
I know, but TikTok puts a filter on automatically.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
why everybody's like, you don't look like you're 54. I'm like, it just has it on here. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and all the lights to blur everything.
Yes.
So, I was talking about earlier, in my experience, I have never experienced a negative energy, a negative soul, or anything like that. I've only experienced negative people. And you and I were talking the other day, and you had a very different experience. So, can you tell everybody about that?
Well, husband and I are paranormal investigators in addition to being light workers and empaths and readers. Essentially, when we find something interesting out there that is very, not kosher and not familiar with the usual paranormal hunting that we do, we have to put, two and two together and kind of deduce, like, what exactly is happening. We want to debunk first and use science first and foremost before we, make a conclusion about how the outer world works. There seems to be we joke about purgatory and things where there's a space between the two worlds, and there's, what goes on there, we're not sure. But there does seem to be something in between the conscious, physical realm and the complete spiritual realm where everyone is healed and joyful and in perfect love. So in the paranormal, we've experienced all different types of hauntings, whether they are the stagnant version where you're walking into, like you were just saying, a pre-recorded situation that you're just kind of reliving what was pre-recorded there, and they have no, the spirits there and the scene playing has no recollection of actually you interacting with it. They don't see you, they don't hear you, they're just doing their thing over and over. And then there's the very live, rambunctious spirits that will come in and interact with you and follow you around and smoke in front of you, and you can smell their pipe tobacco, and it's absolutely beautiful and insane. They're actually interactive. They kind of choose maybe a lower, different plane to hang on to before they go into the perfect love place. For whatever reason, they're still finishing some stuff up. Maybe there's some guilt, some shame, some pain, an attachment to the earth that's so severe they're not ready to really completely let it go. Because I've had sessions where I talk like you as a medium to the paranormal in these lower, I think, vibrational realms where not everybody, like I said, is ready to go to the light and stay there and be in a different place where you communicate from. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting that we have both communicated from these two different worlds, and we know the difference between them, based on not just the paranormal research, but also the fact that we're spiritualists, and we can tell the difference when it's paranormal and when they're in that lower kind of middle purgatory spot, or when they are actually have completely transcended into perfect love and perfect light. So in those places, because someone's kind of chosen not to go fully into the light, and they're more attached to energy or beings or humans here, or even experiences like someone's like smoking. I have literally smelled pipe tobacco smoke so strong in the middle of a battlefield with no one around that it gets caught in my throat as if I'm actually smelling the actual smoke, and I have to cough, and I can taste it. It's the most incredible, surreal experience ever, and there's no explanation for this. So obviously, I am sensing something live that's happening in the physical realm too. It's crossing not just auditory and visually, but it's crossing into sense, sense of smell. Yeah, so it's wild.
Smell is clairalience and taste is clairgustance.
Yes, thank you. You're the expert on all the clairs. So yeah. So we have experienced mostly positive, because like attracts like, even from that realm, even though it's a lower realm than the celestial, like where you're coming from. So often we will go into a space and say, we only like to kind of speak to spirits who are going to match our energy. Loving, kind, curious, maybe playful spirits. But then we do get, occasionally the negative one that kind of comes in is they're just really grumpy, and they're just not, they're not finished with whatever it is. And we know, okay, there's that guy over there. Or maybe he's even attached himself to another spirit that is also in the same realm, who can't move forward either because of energy moves and attracts like, and sometimes it can kind of zap you up like a spider in a light, or the moth in the light. You're attracted, and then you're stuck there until each of you understands that you can move on. So we've had experiences where with poltergeists, everything from, just voices, mini conversations, whispers. The poltergeist, which was a really big one in Gettysburg that we sensed it was a child that was playing in a room with us. We heard the footsteps run in, we heard the footsteps run out. We have it all recorded. You might even see that episode one day on the Paranormal Caught on Camera, because we're working on submitting that evidence. It's so good. But so unfortunately, energy, it exists in all forms, and the best way to kind of keep us separate from that negative energy that does reside just kind of floats through, just like people, right? You just want to keep certain people at bay in your life because they exude an energy that's, scary or negative or angry or any of those things we can sense. Again, we talked about this sensing, our heart and our energy from our heart exuding of over 50 feet, right? So you can sense somebody from across the room if they might harm you. These are all senses that we were innately born with so that we can protect ourselves and go through life understanding how to kind of, navigate that in the best safety, most positive way that we know how. There are also people that are attracting negative energies as well because they are in a negative dark space themselves. And so, again, attracting not just here, not just in spiritual paranormal purgatory, but also in the celestial area. You just want to be cautious about what you're exuding, what you're feeling, and what you're attracting, because if you are in that deep, dark, fearful place of sadness, desperation, grief, anger, resentment, you can attract those lower entities to kind of not attach to you per se, which happens, but it's, just like with people, you're going to attach to other energies of the same level of energy that you're exuding. So it's just kind of mirrors the same thing in the paranormal and celestial. So
I wrote down so many questions while you were talking. And if anybody, hello to everyone who's joining. I'm not sure if the chat's actually loading or not because I haven't gotten a comment in 10 minutes. So I'm not sure what's going on. So somebody say hi. Click those likes and share because we're going to do some card readings with Cosmic Chris here in a little bit after we do this part of the discussion. Hi, thank you, Marmar. Cosmic Chris is going to be joining us and doing some tarot card reading. Tarot, correct, please?
Yeah, he's going to do card pulls. He did a reading earlier today, and this is his channel. He loves to. Speaking of creating positive energy, this channel is really dedicated to him creating super empowering, affirming messages to get us through this life with as much ease and joy as possible. So if you want to check out this channel, there's a lot of that. Yeah.
His in the videos, like where does he keep that archive? We can talk about that later because I have questions about some of the stuff you were talking about. I'm like, where does he get these? Like, does he just have a folder with all that? And it's like all this amazing stuff from Paris and Egypt and all over the world. It's crazy.
Yeah, those are a lot of those videos are ours. He takes videos while we're traveling, and then saves them snippets for his background videos for his affirmations. Yep.
They're awesome, and they make me feel good every time I see them. So everybody, stand by for Cosmic Chris and card readings. Please share this video with everyone on your list so people can get some free card readings because he's a really good, wonderful reader.
Oh, and an intuitive for a male. I mean, it's really hard to find a male that is, that can't put aside his ego to really tune in. And as you know, Nick, Chris is really good at putting all that aside and listening and paying attention. And he's a huge giver, and will really, like, his readings are, again, from the masculine energy, are super powerful. So you guys will enjoy that. Y'all will enjoy that.
Okay, so Kit asked a question, and it's similar to one of the questions I wanted to ask. Kit said, I don't know if you can see the chat or not. Can you see the chat?
I can't see it moving, but
okay. Kit said,
yeah.
Couldn't the bad spirits be just residual energy?
Yes, absolutely. But you'll know what type it is when you're actually interacting with it. So I actually wrote a little pocket guide to ghost hunting several years, which I sold in Gettysburg for a long time. And I went over the different hauntings. Like I said, some of them are interactive. Some of them are just residual, like to just play like a movie over and over. And you're walking in and feeling that, even though they're not feeling you. And then there are indeed just energy fields where it might not even be a person per se. It could have like been something that happened there that just carries the violence or the sadness of that spot. So it can be so many different things, but we've encountered, we've encountered all three, the walking into a scene, not interacting, maybe a third party kind of paranormal experience where we are getting a voice from over here, but then this other energy is kind of blocking and protecting it. Like overlapping whispers, one's whispering, one's talk. Like, it's so interesting. We've gotten we've been doing this since 2001, paranormal research, and so there have been so many different incidences across the board. Yes, but she's right, that you can have just walking into feeling a negative energy that's residual. Absolutely.
Okay, so I have so many questions. All right. So what's the difference between, first and foremost, do you believe there are negative spirits who have been a human on this earth? Yes or no?
I do, because I've absolutely documented it. Okay. Yes.
So,
that are still carrying the energy from this life. For whatever reason, wherever they were consciously when they left here, they wanted to hold on to it in the next realm. And in the next realm, it's more like a physical earth, but in a sense that they're removed from the actual physicalness. They can interact more just like as observers, and because it takes a huge amount of energy for them to interact otherwise. Like if they're whispering to me something, they've got to scream it with all they have from the other side for me to hear a whisper.
Because of their low vibration.
Yes.
So Zadie said, that's so amazing. I love hearing about paranormal experiences. And Kimberly Robin, who's one of my good friends from San Francisco. Hi, sweetheart. That's where Lisa and I met on 34th and Noriega. And I think Kimberly is living on 19th Avenue now, I think. So
nice.
Anyway, just want to say hi. Hi, Ruthie, sweetheart. And Ruthie, who's on here, I just did an interview with her. It's going to be posted on my YouTube channel on Wednesday. And she's incredible and so wonderful and so kind and so compassionate. And she's a wonderful medium, and she offers so many different services. So watch that on my YouTube channel on Wednesday. Okay, so you said earlier, lower realm. What did you mean?
So I believe that whether we're in a matrix or a hologram or an earthly plane, whatever it is, there are probably dimensions. of different energy levels that vibrate from the bottom up, right? So if you go all the way to the top, you're probably hanging out with Buddha or the Christ energy. You're completely all-knowing. Now, I know that there are amounts of consciousness that evolve within us that allow us to be comfortable in whatever level energy as we go up that we can. Some people will even go into the light and be more at a, not at an entity level who's stuck to the earth, but maybe someone who is really attached to the earth and loves it so much, like my grandmother. I could see my grandmother loving it here so much that she just wants to come back in the same exact vibration. She doesn't want to go sit with angels and just be bored. She wants to come back down or be a helper, or like you and I, we want to evolve to a more evolved planet or a more evolved realm so that there's less hurt and violence and suffering, right? So everybody has their idea in their own conscious development while here on earth, like where they think they would be the most comfortable when they pass. Doesn't mean there's any less communication or connection with loved ones. It just means like, hey, I'm really comfortable being here, just like in life. I'm really comfortable leaving my 8 to 5 job to do something else. But the other people are like, I would never leave my 8 to 5 job to take a risk to do other things. It's your own comfort level. It's your own evolution. I think there are several levels of evolution that go between here and the highest level of celestial evolution.
Interesting. I have not had that experience. Maybe it's because of the work I do compared to the work you have done. Like, I've never gone ghost hunting or paranormal investigating to experience that. So when I'm doing my mediumship readings, if I connect with a loved one in spirit or a non-loved one in spirit, somebody who harmed my client physically, emotionally, or in another bad way, they are coming through for an apology every single time, because anything negative that comes through when I'm doing my readings is for healing to occur for my client. So I'm not experiencing it in the same way, and so we should meet somewhere. Savannah would be a great place to meet, because that's like super, or St. Augustine. Those are super.
And we know that a soul can be omnipresent. So a soul could also be still stuck here in their little area of paranormal, but also be a piece, like we were talking about the other day, a piece of that is also, since there's no time, is also in connecting with their loved ones, even if they felt too guilty to go that high into the light. So, they can be spread into several different places. The boy that I encountered as a poltergeist in Gettysburg, I don't think he's not in heaven. I think he's also in heaven, and I think a part of him is also in this realm, that lives in this house and likes to play and doesn't have any sense of time. And he's not trapped, but perhaps choosing to stay in that area for the comfort of the owners of the Airbnb who welcome him. And his life was very cut short. It could have been that he was a very young soul who was very surprised by his death and has just stayed there, but doesn't mean he's suffering there in that one place. He could also be talking to his mom from another realm, even though he's still hanging out, haunting this Airbnb playfully, So I don't believe that we're in one place or the other. I think pieces of this exist at several different places and levels. And to whatever conscious, level that we can understand is where, is how we can understand. Oh, I'm like, I've run into, I had a dream a couple of years ago, and it wasn't a dream. It was a timeline visit. I dropped in and during a sleep state, but it wasn't a dream. I dropped into another timeline, and I was a military officer, a very high-ranking military officer of some sort, and a guy recognized me. I was dropped into some kind of meeting in a military facility, and this guy comes up to me, a very handsome guy, and I felt like I knew him. He knew me, and he was like, Elise, oh my gosh, where have you been? I've been looking for you. And I was like, what? Oh, I'm married to Chris in this other life, but I felt completely familiar that I was also this military person. And we had a brief moment, and then I dropped back here, but I felt like I knew him. He was a husband. He was another soulmate. So I was in two places at once. Even though I'm here in this life, I had a glimpse of another life that was happening at the same time. It was the craziest thing. I know I've never told you that story, but it was amazing.
I have so many things to say. So my mind is just blowing right now. People are commenting. Medium said, I believe there can be residual energy. Yes, we both agree with that. Lisa Lemon said, wow, an emerald medium. Hello. And thank you to all the mediums who are on here and chatting together. I love it. I love it. I love all of you guys. I just had a friend tell me she had a very similar experience. So see, you were meant to be here to hear that story. And I think that's amazing. I think we do travel to other realms in our dreams for sure. We just don't always remember it. And that's pretty profound. You said about the little boy that, and this is what made my brain explode. Because, and I'm going to show you, and anybody who's watched me before has seen this. We have an oversoul, and it's in heaven or the spirit world, however people define it. And so a little drop of his soul is in his body. And so his body doesn't exist anymore. And so his soul, his little piece of his soul can come to their house or come to Gettysburg or wherever he's going and visit. And that's exactly the way you stated it is exactly the same way I've been saying that, but I didn't know that's what you meant when we were talking about it the other day. But that's exactly how I've explained it. Like, we have little, and if you have 10 lives, you have 10 different little pieces of soul in each little body. And because there's no real time, there's no timeline, it's all happening simultaneously like a balled up piece of paper. Draw 1,000 dots on a piece of paper, crumple it up, and those are all your different lives happening all at the same time.
Yes.
And sometimes those two dots touch each other.
Yes.
And overlap. And
it's even like I'm drinking this drink right now, right? This is not a product sponsorship. let's say this whole bottle is.
We do product sponsorships.
We do that, but this is not one of them officially. But let's say this is his soul. This whole and you put a little tiny bit in a cap here, okay? This is what's living in Gettysburg, exactly. And this bottle is wherever else he wants to go, fluidly into the world with his consciousness, wherever that's at. Yeah.
Alpha Centauri, Andromeda, whatever. Yeah, exactly. And Emerald Medium said, I can't wait to tell her. She will love it. Great. If I can snip this part out, I will, but sometimes, TikTok is weird.
Yeah.
About snipping the lives.
Yeah.
Zadie said, is it weird for me to only think I now have one romantic soulmate? My boyfriend passed away. So, and we couldn't spend not even a year being together. No, we do not only have one romantic soulmate.
Correct. Yep.
I believe we can be soulmates with a dog, with a kid, and I don't mean romantic.
Absolutely.
With a cousin, with a best friend. I think me and we used to call each other soulmates all the time for years because we were meant to be in each other's lives.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're in each other's lives and sometimes you're not in each other's lives, whether it's romantically, platonically, a relative, a dog, whatever.
Yeah, sometimes your soulmate who is romantic, like I'm pretty sure my husband and I, because we have this really amazing, fun, playful connection that goes way beyond, like we recognize each other right away. He was probably my brother or my father in another lifetime, and he came back, in this one this way. I don't know. It's just fascinating.
Yeah, you got to read Journey of Souls. Have you read this?
Yeah, I have not read that, but I've heard snippets about what's in there. Some cool stuff. Yeah,
explains all of that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so for sake of time, is Cosmic Chris ready to do card readings?
I think he's just about ready. Did we answer all of the questions that we were brewing with our little chat? I can spend 5 more minutes doing that, and then we can throw him on to throw some cards around and give people some wonderful advice.
I have another question. When you were talking about being attached to another spirit, what did that mean?
I think, I mean, I have been in situations where I have done EVP sessions with, in a random place where there have been violence or trauma. And we have, we'll talk to kind of a dominant spirit, male or female. It's happened both ways. And then there'll be something else that comes in underneath that feels like it's been manipulated to hang out with a more powerful energetic vibration, or it's or it's like a parent-child relationship where you kind of overpower decisions because you know better. You're the older, you're the parent. This is your child. Sometimes I've experienced some people trapped with, or by obligation, with another spirit that's kind of keeping them there, maybe for company or whatever attachment it is. Again, just that piece, that soul. It's not like the entire person is trapped there with that person, but and maybe for the benefit also of helping that other negative spirit move into the light and move up. Because at any time, your consciousness can go to the next level as long as it realizes that it can. So, and sometimes that just takes time and other energies, or you and I, to come down and channel those energies to say, hey, it's okay. You can be free and you can release. And the ones that do interact with you live have the consciousness to go, oh, because we've talked to spirits and had real answers come back with, they're 1 or 2 word answers, but they're hearing us and they're reacting in live time. It's amazing. And anyone can do this too,
It's amazing because in mediumship, it's like the information sometimes just, and there's a bunch of mediums on here, and I'm sure they'd all agree. Sometimes you're doing a reading, and for me, they're always like right here, and they're just flowing in the information. Just
yes.
Sometimes it's like a full conversation, like they're right there in the room, and other times, like you said, it's like snippets.
Yeah.
Just a snippet, and that's for energetic. Sometimes it's my energy, sometimes it's their energy, sometimes it's the client's energy, sometimes it's just a combination. It varies all the time.
Absolutely.
Zadie said, I hope to spend all my lives with him as lovers, since in this life things didn't go that way. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Emerald Medium said, I love hearing different experiences. It's very refreshing. Yes, it is very refreshing. And when Lisa and I had this conversation the other day, we hung up the phone, and I was like, this would be an incredible live stream to talk about.
Yeah.
You have so many different experiences than I do.
Well, and we're both doing mediumship, but in different ways. I do more spiritual life coaching and tarot card readings because I love to connect with someone's energy and give them all the wonderful advice and the delicious guidance that people need. But I'm more hands-in, like you are a scientist as well. But I'm like, if I can go out and get scientific evidence of what you're talking about with people, then I love to play in that, and I'm so curious. So you're doing the same thing as I am. I'm just connecting with the more physical, lower, easier probably path to them because they're a little bit closer. And if you go to a location where there's been trauma, it's so much, you connect quickly to it immediately, as where you're calling the really high transcendence from the celestial realm, and it's all the same, really. But like I said, it's just the paranormal is not quite as evolved as your realm. So I'm in it for the proof that there's life after death, as where you're in it for, I'm already here and I'm already communicating with all these higher levels and bringing messages. So, and not that these other paranormal entities don't have messages. They do, which is interesting. But we don't know how long they're going to stick around and kind of hang out and wait for someone to receive those messages. They're living in a longer loop than the celestial beings.
So Lisa Lemon said, my departed loved ones come visit me and light my lights on demand. That's fascinating. I was having a very intense conversation earlier today, and I was talking to someone about something very important, and I was sitting in my kitchen and my lights flashed during the conversation, which was crazy. And Lisa said, I wish they would manifest. Be careful what you wish for.
Just have to ask them to and be patient. Yeah, they will.
Emerald Medium said, sometimes the blend is beautiful and other times it's a struggle. I couldn't agree more. Emerald Medium, I want to tell you something I learned from medium. I have a stray hair, sorry. Medium Kim Russo. I was watching a video of her, and she said, because I get anxious before readings, and I have to always talk myself down off a ledge. I did that for a long time because I was always like, I don't want to disappoint my clients. And then I was listening to Kim Russo. She was being interviewed, and she said, leave your ego at the door. When you are fearful and anxious that you're not going to be able to deliver a message, that's your ego.
That's right.
And it's not about you, it's about spirit and the client. And I wrote it down on a Post-it note and put it on my desk because, this just happened a couple months ago, and I've been a medium for over 5 years. So, so I went for a long time sitting in my ego being afraid. So don't feel bad if that's how you feel. And she said, allow the flow, stop thinking. If you doubt, spirit senses that. And I put that on a Post-it note and have it right on my desk because we get in our heads sometimes.
Yes. And it's also about, we listen. No, we hear, but we don't listen. Our egos don't want us to really listen for answers, right? So truly sitting and listening and quieting the mind, and just, there's no thoughts, there's no worries, no anxiety. When we listen, we hear, and things can come in so much easier because we're quieting the ego, and it's all about the listening instead of the expressing. Like, they can't come in if we're blah, 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 or they can, but we're not going to recognize it because we're going to be too thinking about this and not focused on this. So the more we listen, the more messages we get.
Exactly. Now I have a limited time. So is Cosmic Chris ready?
Yes, actually he is. 1 second. You want him to join from this channel because I couldn't get my other one on so that he can do it in person and everyone can see his face?
Swap right out. Swap right out.
Okay, I'm going to swap out, and so yeah, everybody who's in for a 1-card reading, Nick will guide everybody into how to get that reading. Are you gonna do oracles and switch, or you just want to do him?
Well, I'll let him pull some cards, and if he can't see the chat, I don't think he can see my chat. I'll read the chat.
I can't see the chat very well. I'm on some weird screen. You have a lot of messages. It says you have 35 messages. So I'll just put him on, and then hopefully y'all can work it out. So 1 second. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Taking over. All right, so while they get set up, I'll read. Emerald's medium said, I lived in what people would call a haunted house, and I would love to now go back and try and understand what happened there. Yep. There's a certain relationship that come in easier than others. Yes. Hello, KB. All right. Hi, Cosmic Chris. Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
I'm so glad you're here. And Cosmic Chris, I'll let you introduce yourself, but I will tell you he's a wonderful tarot reader, and he's learning mediumship. And so I hope that mediumship is helping him connect with his tarot. Hi, Brooke. Hi, Jane. Hi, Lisa. Everybody's saying hi. Can you see the chat, Chris, at all?
I can see. I can't see the chat.
Okay, so I'll read the chat. And so, do you want people just to put an emoji in the chat if they want a reading?
Sure.
Okay, so do you want to start shuffling and setting your intention?
Yes.
So Chris is going to be doing readings, and I have about 15 to 20 minutes. But if you want to stay on, you can. All right, emojis are coming in, and let me know when you are ready for your first reading.
Doing a little shuffling here.
Perfect. And do you have all your links in your bio for if somebody wants a private reading?
Oh, I don't think that I do. I need to check on that. I was actually working with the website earlier, kind of updating.
Okay, awesome. If anybody wants a reading from Chris, they can email me if it's not in his bio. He'll be putting that up there soon.
If you want to use that as a contact, that would be great.
He's been very busy. Very, very busy.
Oh, sorry about that. Let me just put these on for a moment.
Okay. So, Cosmic Chris, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am a medium, a tarot reader. I also am a photographer. I'm an artist. I help. I'm a paranormal investigator. I'm a big fan of Esther Hicks and the Law of Attraction, Neville Goddard, Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer. I love all the teachings. So many things about the teachings that are interlinked, and just such amazing bodies of work. I love spiritualism. I love the life and death aspect of our lives here. What happens when we pass from this life to the next world? You know, I've always been intrigued by that, even as a little kid growing up. And it's just so fascinating to me that there's just so many mysteries and so many things that we don't know in our lives that are come to us, you know, within time, and how things evolve, and people and places and things, people that come into our lives that change our lives, that help us to evolve and to learn more about who we are. It's just quite amazing. It's an amazing life here on Earth.
It is amazing. And when we realize we're just a mote of dust hanging in a sunbeam, as Carl Sagan once said, and we are so small compared to the universe, it's unbelievable. And so there's so many mysteries out there that need to be explored. And I think we are having a new Earth right now with all of the spiritual people awakening.
I think the biggest thing that we learn when we come down is to learn how to manipulate energy. I think that's our biggest.
Yep, manifesting. And you know what I always say to people when they want to manifest: set your intention. What's the second one? Do the work. And the third one, which people forget, is allow yourself to receive it.
But what's even easier than all that also, which is 100% accurate, is just the thoughts, our thinking.
Yeah.
Because like a radio station, when you tune in,
Yeah.
you want to tune into a specific station that's a specific channel, 99.7, right? But you have to tune into 99.7, or else if you're not specifically there, you'll get the other stations.
Yep.
So our thoughts is the same thing as the radio tuner. What we put out there, the world receives as the connection, and that's what it brings back to us.
Yep.
It just keeps funneling it back to us.
Exactly. So, do you want to do quick one card reads?
Sure. Yes.
All right. I'm going to go back up on the list because a lot of people put emojis. So I'm going to the first one is Zadie. Zadie, and I'll just go through the list. So,
Okay, perfect.
pick a card. This is for Zadie.
I'm going to shuffle and pick one out. I have my Psychic Creations deck here. I don't know if it shows. There you go. I'm going to pull this one out. Okay. So the first card I pulled out is the Patience card. So did she have a specific question?
No, these are just general.
Random. So there could be things in your life that are happening right now that are having you have thoughts, maybe limiting beliefs about who you are in your place in the world, because things aren't happening fast enough. And the world is trying to show you to take a step back, to try to believe in the divine intervention of the universe and its divine timing for things that will unfold in your path, that will allow you to feel your sense of purpose here in the physical. The Patience card represents just knowing and trusting in the universe and not having all those limiting beliefs that we think that rise up when we don't get exactly what we want, exactly when we want it. just know that the world and the universe is conspiring with you at all times to bring you everything that you want. But it's sometimes it's not on our timing. It's in the universe's timing. But things will start to unfold. And once you start to believe more and more about trusting in the universe, things will start to manifest. You'll start to see signs in your life.
Wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. So Zadie, let us know if that resonates. The next card, and those are words of wisdom anybody could take, right? The next card is for Brooke.
Okay.
I'm making a list.
Oh, excellent. Yes. All right. I'm just going to shuffle again. Just doing a quick shuffle here.
Zadie said,
okay.
Damn, that's so accurate. That's amazing. It does 100%. She made 2 comments. So
thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
So
this card I pulled is the Dreams card. So the Dreams card can be a card not only just for dreams presently known, but dreams through your imagination, that where you see yourself in 5 years from now, the different directions of different chances of things, like the domino effect of the things that you do today affect tomorrow, that could catapult you quicker to your dreams. So this card tells me that you have a lot of dreams, that things in your life that you want to come into your into your time, into your atmosphere, as far as things on the horizon that you think may not be possible because you're not this type of person, or you're not that type of person, that it's not attainable. So the Dreams card is a dream, like it's trying to give you hope and a feeling of positivity that dreams can happen, and dreams are for you. Like, you are good enough, you're whole enough to have your dreams come to fruition in this lifetime. So, in other words, don't give for you, because you are just as important, just as special as everyone else. You're a soul here living in the universe, and you are connected to Source at all times. You have the ability to use Source as your guidance, your internal guidance, to help you to make choices that will bring you each day closer to your dreams. So that card is a really powerful card, a beautiful card also.
That is absolutely wonderful. And you know what? I don't, Brooke, let us know if you're still here, because I don't know if she's still here, but we're getting all kinds of comments, like good messages for everyone to hear, stuff like that. So these are great. The next card, oh, Brooke, she said, thank you. I can definitely use this. Yes, perfect. Awesome. Next is Lisa Lemon. If you're still here, let us know. Lisa Lemon. Right. It's Lisa, then Emerald, then KB. Lisa's here. All right, you're up.
I'm going to shuffle and shuffle and shuffle. All right. This is another card here. It's a surrender card. So this card is a powerful card because it could mean a lot of different things. But in most times, it means that we sometimes are holding on to sometimes feelings. Sometimes we're holding on to guilt. Sometimes we're holding on to emotions that don't serve us currently, that actually withhold us away. It's kind of like the cork on top of the water, and you try to pull the cork down, and what happens? The cork just pops back up to the top. So our feelings and sometimes our thoughts and our ideas about things in our own personal life, or things that relate to our friends or our family, that actually kind of hold us down under the water. Like, once we can figure out why these things are taking place in our life, why we sometimes have these thoughts, or we can't surrender to the possibility of forgiveness and being able to forgive someone, we hold that in our bodies, and it doesn't serve us, and it only kind of hinders us and slows us down. It's like, if I'm going to swallow poison and hope that you get affected by it, it doesn't work. That's just not a good way to go about things. But
She said, yes, I'm doing a lot of shadow work.
Oh,
So right on, right on. All right, beautiful, absolutely wonderful. And anybody watching the replay later, if these cards resonate with you, you are meant to find this video at the time you found it. And anybody on here live, take these messages. Take these messages. And now Lisa said, working on this presently. So that's absolute perfection, Chris. Absolute perfection.
excellent.
Emerald Medium is next. And she said, thank you so much.
Oh, you're
So
so welcome.
if you're still here, let us know. And if anybody wants to contact Cosmic Chris, you can email me. If his link's not in his bio yet, he's been doing a lot of work. Okay. Emerald's here.
Excellent. Let me shuffle again. All right. Okay. This is the attachment card. So this card could mean a lot of different things also. But I'm having a stronger feeling in this very moment. This is more about a personal belief system within that actually is slowing us down, making us feel like we're not worthy, not good enough. We can't compete. We have like comparisonitis with other people. Like we're trying to be just like the crowd and be good enough, and we feel like we're not, and we're being like, where our thoughts are kind of limiting us from having all the things that we want. The abundance that is deserving, and we're all deserving of abundance at all times. I mean, this is why we're here. But sometimes our own ideas and thoughts about who we are feel like we don't stack up to everyone else around us, and then we don't feel like we're equals. And those very thoughts are the same thoughts that kind of block off or clog the flow of abundance. So the law of attraction, it's kind of you close all the pipes off, and you don't allow the goodness to come to you, to follow you, to find you. So I believe that the attachment is just the ideas, the thoughts that we carry that don't serve us, that actually limit us and cut us off from the flow of abundance.
And I think that is awesome. And Emerald, let us know. And she's commenting, nervous about reading again after 6 weeks of not letting go of expectations. Yeah. And that's right. We block ourselves more than anything. We're our own worst enemy.
Exactly.
So I think that's perfect for you, Emerald, and you're going to be fine. You just have to break the seal. Just break the seal. You just have to do it. I mean, you're not going to stop doing your job, right? You're going to do it. Allowing myself to be myself as well. Thank you. Yeah.
You know what's another great thing also with that is what I do in the morning when I wake up is I write down 5 things I'm grateful for before I even look at my phone. If sometimes I don't write them, I think them before I get out of the bed, because the first thing when you wake up in the morning, you open up your eyes is what? You reach for your phone to look at your phone. In that moment, if you linger maybe 3 minutes extra and just sit there and close your eyes and say, I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my dog. Today is going to be a great day. Today, I am going to connect with those people I need to speak to, wherever it is. But it pre-plows your day. It's kind of like you are already thanking the universe for all the great things in your life. And when you're grateful, you are allowing the universe to bring you more. It's like you're saying to the universe, thank you, universe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you love being this? You love having it? Let me give you more. The universe will just bring more to your doorstep. That's the power of thinking.
Yeah, it's like lucky girl syndrome. They are actually studying that. When you wake up and you say 5 positive things, you're going to notice positive things. If you wake up and look at the news, you're going to notice all the negative things.
Exactly. That's what you'll find. Yeah, exactly.
So is KB still here? KB, and then Osha. Emerald Medium said, oh my God, yes. Lisa said, I give gratitude for everything. Osha, if you're still here, going once, going twice. Oh, KB's here. KB.
All right. Just reshuffle.
It's KB, Osha, Rachel, and Jane, and then that's going to be the end of the list.
Okay. All right. This card. Oh boy, this is an interesting one. I bet you nobody has any of that in their life.
Yeah, nobody has stress. We're all
So stress is in vertical form. It's just a disconnect from trusting the universe and the total oneness of what the universe is, and allowing the thoughts that we are disconnected from source to pervade our thinking. And that's what happens is when we feel that it's hopeless and that there's no possible way. I mean, it happens to all of us. It even happens to me. I mean, you can't be a human being on this planet and not have stress. But the thing about stress is once you learn, like, having the certain tools in your toolbox, when things pop up and land in your lap in the middle of the day, you don't have to be the person that just loses your head and just, like, there's no way. Like, you'll have tools to think about, okay, why is this happening? What is the universe trying to show me in this moment? Why did I attract this to myself? You know, what is my thinking right now? Am I in a powerful state of thinking, or am I in, like, a negative state of thinking? So those two different states where you can actually kind of have like a beacon for your own understanding, like, where am I in my thinking right now that I attracted this situation? And you're like, what can I do differently? How can I think differently to actually move forward in my day and not attract more and more of the stress of the things that we don't like, that discourage us, that don't allow us to be in our flow of abundance and manifestation?
And KB said, I was actually thinking about that today.
Wow. Nice.
That's awesome, because I'm telling you, first of all, I never thought I'd be a medium. I never thought I'd be a card reader, and cards blow my mind. The way spirit guides these cards to fall out for the right person at the right time blows my mind. Absolutely.
So back when I was first finding out about the cards, I had to go to I was going to a court case. Something happened. I had to go out of state to appear in court. And my lovely wife, I had asked, she goes, you want me to give you a card reading? And I didn't believe in it at the time. I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, I'm like, this very card was the very thing that I was doing. I was so stressed that I wasn't eating. I was upset. My mind was limiting, like, all these bad beliefs. So then she gave me the reading, and the justice card turned up.
Wow.
And she did the reading, and she said, justice will be served. Things are going to work out, this and that. And I was like, oh my God, this was the morning, like literally an hour before my thing. And then when I went there, just to make a long story short, I showed up, I said what I had to say, and they said, we're going to drop this situation. And it was cleared. And I was just, oh my God, like, then what's in those cards? What the hell? How did I pick out of the 52 cards? I picked out the cards that the universe wanted me to see. And that was the message. So yeah, it's like you just mentioned, it's amazing.
It is. And OSHA's next, and OSHA is here. OCIA is the name. I think I'm saying it right.
I'm gonna mix these cards up again.
And thank you, everybody. And I hope you're all following Chris on Inner Light Photography, or Inner Light Digital, excuse me.
All right. So I got the ideas card. Ooh. So is there something that is kind of like on the horizon that you're not sure of, that you might be fearful of, that you're afraid to advance towards because you feel that you don't have enough information, or you don't have enough knowledge about this thing or this situation in your life, where you feel like you're being held back because you don't feel like you can advance towards it? So that, in that sense, the ideas card will actually allow you to, like, just tune into the universe, to trust that when the time is near for whatever the idea that you might be having, that you feel that you can't achieve or move towards, that the people, places, and things will all kind of fall into place if you just trust.
She said feeling stuck. She said she's feeling stuck. Chris can't see the comments, so I love that.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
She said feeling stuck as you were saying that. So that's absolutely perfect. You have a wonderful connection, and I hope everybody appreciates that.
Thank you.
Chris's connection is so good. So yeah, just let it happen, Osha. Rachel, are you still here? And then Jane. Rachel, then Jane.
Okay. Just give me a
Yeah,
second.
it's so amazing how accurate you are. Lisa Lemon said so accurate. So every and OSHA
Thank you.
said many thanks.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I pull this card for the next read. The control card.
Rachel, for Rachel, it's what is it? I can't see.
Oh, sorry. It was the
What card is it?
control card.
Oh, control. Okay.
I don't know if
I'm
you
just
can
keeping
see
track
it.
on the list. All right, perfect.
This kind of ducktails on the last idea of the readers. Sometimes when we actually feel like we have to control all the circumstances in order to have the outcomes that we want, it kind of limits the universe. It's like limiting to the universe because we don't always have all the answers, and we don't have all the means and ways of it's like divine intervention when you're standing in the grocery store and you're looking for a new job. This is just like an example, and you're looking for a new job and you bump into some stranger in line and you start a chit chat about this, the weather and this, and I work so hard, I wish I had someone to help, and oh my god, what do you do? And it's like, I'm looking for a job and I could be a secretary. Oh my God. Like, can you start next week? Like that type of thing. Like when we don't trust that we have to have all the answers all the time and have that control. Like I have to be able to look at every single little spot and control every little situation to get what I want or to move forward. It's like when you kind of release that and trust in the universe, then universe is able to kind of intervene in your life and kind of bring you more of what you're looking for. Like we don't always have to know all the answers all the time. How it's going to happen, the divine interverse just puts people, places, and things in your life, and they come up in ways that you could never imagine. Could never imagine how it comes to be fruition in your life. And
Like when you're like, oh my God, I have this thing that I have to pay for. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for that. And then somebody calls you up. Oh yeah, remember that $500 you loaned me? Here's a check. And you forgot because it's been 3 years. And then all of a sudden.
exactly, 100%. Yeah. It's just like things can just, it's like divine intervention really is when you just let it go. Let go. That's the biggest
You have
thing
no control. You have
is
no
letting go. It's like, the bear with the honey inside the tree. The hole is big enough for your hand to go in, but once you grab and try to pull out, your hand gets stuck. You can't take anything out. You have to just let go.
Gotta let it go.
Just kind of like let it go and trust the universe will provide for you.
Wonderful readings. I wish I had more time, but I have to go. Jane did not answer, so I don't think she's here anymore. Lisa Lemon said, for every dollar I spend, it comes back to me 10 times. Why they?
100%. Always.
Oh, Jane is here. Jane is here. Okay. Okay. So OSHA said, so appreciate your time and energy. So one more for Jane. One more for Jane.
All right. Let me just shuffle them up again.
And I don't know if Rachel was still here, but if Rachel watches the replay, let us know.
Okay. I'm just going to shuffle a little bit more. Okay.
And, I'd be interested to see what comments you have, Chris, because you've got people. I can see you've got people on yours, but if you can't see the comments.
Yes. Yes. And this is the next one I pulled, the healing card.
Ooh, I love that.
So this is such a powerful card. It's just in life, it's if we actually are able to forgive others and not hold on to burdens or situations or people, places, and things, we actually send people love and light in their way of error, which they've harmed us, or like. If we're able to forgive, that is our biggest medicine in life, because in that moment, you're so much lighter. You don't have to carry the burden of the things that happened in the past with family. You don't have to have the burdens of what happened at my job and how this person wronged me. And oh my God, I never forgive them. Like once you let go, you are so much lighter in spirit. and energy that you are opening up all the channels for abundance to flow into your life. When you hold on to grief, anger, frustration, you close off, you pinch off yourself from source, and they're not able to kind of fill your life with all the abundance that you so deserve.
It's like you're getting a lot of good comments, but remember in the old, we're Gen X, right? So in the 70s, we had the water hose on the yard, and
Yes,
without
yes.
play outside all day, and when somebody would crinkle the hose
Right.
and hold it, and once you let it go, that water would just flow out. That's what
Yeah,
that
you
reminds me.
actually pinch off the water, so the water doesn't reach to the end. It's the same thing with our life, with the flow of the abundance of the universe. It's like you always want to be that conduit to just let source flow through you. I mean, yeah, it's not like a woo-woo kind of thing. Things are going to happen.
Yeah.
People are going to piss you off. People are going to make you upset, make you angry. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to live from that state of being. You can have the emotions, but let them pass through you and then just move forward with it. You know, it's just like a better way to just stay alive and be well and have harmony and peace and light in your life. And without all things.
Baseline of peace. Baseline of peace. So
100%.
I want to read you all the comments. Osha said, so appreciate your time and energy. Lisa Lemon said, thank you, Chris. I started to follow you. You guys will not read.
Thank you so much.
He has so many great videos. Zadie said, thank you, three, for sharing your knowledge about everything. Love this. You are welcome. Jane said, I've let go to a lot. Good, good, good. And Lisa said, practice and pause. KB said, thank you guys. I appreciate that you share. Wonderful.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
I guarantee you we'll be live again within the next week or so for sure. Love Base Wicca. We love you. And yeah, Chris, great job. I had so much fun.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Next time,
Great to be here.
maybe we'll talk about it.
Of course. We'll do it again real soon.
All right. Bye. I love you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Good night.